Hello, good morning, children. Again, here your statistic educator Sanju Pal, welcoming you all to the class of statistics. Children, now we are going to see the example number 24, where you would find the short sums, right? We'll now see the first short sum. What is the question given? That the price of wheat was 1600 per quintal in the year 2014 and it was 1800 per quintal in the year 2015. So 2014 is the base year and 2015 is the current year. What is given? What is the question? Find the price of the index number of wheat for the year 2015 with say regard to the base year 2014, and also we need to interpret it. Now see children, over here they have given us the price of the wheat for the base year and also of the current year. For the current year it was 1800, right, rupees 1800 per say quintal. So we'll have P1 as 1800 and we are having 1600 per quintal in the year 2014, that is the base year, that is actually our P0. We'll just multiply it by 100, we will get 112.5, right? So you would find our index number for the year 2015 is 112.5. Again, in the statement we are going to deduct it by 100, we are going to get 12.5% rise in the price of the wheat per quintal in the year 2015 as compared to 2014. So how much of rise is there? Okay, in the current year there is 12.5% increase in the price of wheat per quintal in the current year with comparison to the base year, that is 2014. So that one is our first sum. Okay, so now over here we are going to see our second sum, that is the second short sum. The Laspers index number is 8 upon 9 times the Fisher's index number, and they've given us the Fisher's index number, that if the Fisher's index number is 180, they have told us to find out the Pasteur's index number. So over here they have given us that our IL is equal to 8 upon 9 times, that is multiplied by IF, 8 upon 9 times of the Fisher's index number, right? And Fisher's index number they have already given us in the sum. So over here IL is equal to 8 upon 9 into Fisher's index number was 180, so we have multiplied it by 180. If we solve it out, you will get our Laspers index number is coming up to 160. Now we have the formula for Fisher's index number, that is our IF is equal to, we know it is under root IL into IP, right? For Fisher's index number you will put up the value, that is IF, that is 180, is going to be equal to under root IL, we just now found out, okay, that is 160 into IP, right? Now all the values are there except one, that is IP, we need to find out, right? You are going to solve this equation. Okay, it will come up to that IP is equal to 180 into 180 divided by 160, and that is actually your 202.5. So you would find your Pasteur's index number is 202.5. Next, the third sum. What they given away in the third sum? That the production of an item in the year 2015 has increased by 3 times the production in the base year. So you see, in the current year 2015 the production has increased 3 times than the base year. What was the production in the base year? They have not given. Find the index number of the production for the year 2015. That is, they have told us to find out the index number for the current year, that is 2015. Children, over here they have not given say any production of the base year, or you can say they have also not given any index number for the base year. So for the base year the index number will be taken up as 100. You would find, to find out the index number for the current year, that is 2015, it would be index number of the base year plus the increase in the index number in the current year. We don't have the index number of the base year, so we will take it as 100 then we will plus what is the increase in the index number of the current year. They have told us it is by 3 times, so we are going to multiply 3 by 100 and we'll solve it out. You will get 100 plus 3 into 100 is 300, will give you 400, right? That is the index number of the current year, that is of 2015. That is the production index number for 2015. That is how we do this. Come to question number 4. What they given in question number 4, that is if sigma P1 Q0 is to sigma P0 Q0 is 3 is to 2 and sigma P1 Q1 is to sigma P0 Q1 is 5 is to 3, find IL, IP and IF. This we need to find out all the 3 index numbers, right? Now as they have given us sigma P1 Q0 is to sigma P0 Q0 is 3 by 2. So what we can do, simply we know that if we multiply it by 100, we will get Lespez index number. So the value of sigma P1 Q0 upon sigma P0 Q0 is multiplied by 100, which gives us the Lespez formula. So your IL is going to be equal to 3 by 2 multiplied by 100. You will solve it out, you will get 150, which is your Lespez index number. Your Lespez index number over here is 150. Similarly, they had given us sigma P1 Q1 upon sigma P0 Q1, which is 5 is to 3, right? Now again we know over here that if we multiply it by 100, we'll get Pasteur's index number. So sigma P1 Q1 upon sigma P0 Q1 into 100, we will solve it out, we'll get 166.67, which is your Pasteur's index number, right? That we are going to just have it into our formula of Fisher's index number. Now Fisher's index number, we know that our IF is equal to under root IL into IP. Under root IL we have just found out that is 150 and IP we have just found out 166.67, right? You will just solve it out, right? You will get 158.12 and that is 158.12 is our say Fisher's index number. That is how we do this fourth sum. Come to your fifth short sum. See the question. If the average monthly disposable income of the middle class families in the year 2014 is rupees 14,400 and if the cost of living index number for the year 2015 with the base year 2014 is 115, then estimate the average monthly disposable income of these families in the year 2015. It is somewhat the same sum that the third sum what we had done, right? Over here you would find that the index number for the current year has been given as 215, 115. Okay, so what is the increase? The increase is by 15%. That is 115 minus 100 is equal to 15%, right? Now they have given us the average disposable income, okay, for the family for the base year, okay, for the base year 2014, okay, they have given us say 14,400 that we are going to take, plus we are going to see what is the increase in the average disposable income of these families. Okay, so to get the increase, what we are going to do, we'll just multiply it by 100 and divide it by 100, because again for the base year they have not given the index number, so we'll take it as 100. So 14,400 plus say 14,400 into 15 divided by 100. We'll solve the bracket first. It's giving us 2160, right? The average disposable income in the base year is 14,400. That should be the increase in 2,160. You will add them, you're going to get 16,560, right? So you would find that the person who was getting for his family, right, whose income or average disposable income in the base year was 14,400, in the current year his average disposable income should be 16,560, right? That is what should be his average disposable income in the current year, that is say 2015. That is our fifth. Now we will see our question number 6, right? What is given over here? If the cost of living index number of the current year has increased to 180 from the base year index number 100. So over here the base year index number is 100 and the current year index number is 180, right? So what is the increase? That is 180 minus 100 will give you 80. So there is 80% increase, okay, in the income. What they given? And if the average income of the workers has increased from say rupees 6,000 to 9,000, is there any increase or decrease in the purchasing power of the workers, and how much? Okay, now first of all you would find that in the current year, right, it has increased to 180. The index number or the cost of living index number has increased to 180 from 100. So what is the increase? It is actually 180 minus 100 will give you 80% increase, right? So now what can be done over here? Now we are going to see what should be the average income. Over here in the base year, our income or the income of the family was 6,000. Now what is the increase? It is by 80. So plus 6,000, which was the income of the base year, into 80, there is the increase that is needed, divide by 100. You will solve this bracket, is giving you 4,800. 6,000 plus 4,800 is giving you 10,800. It's giving you 10,800. It means what? In comparison to the base year, in the current year, the income of the workers should be 10,800. But in the sum, they had given us that the income has increased, that the average income has increased to 9,000 from 6,000, right? It has increased to 9,000. But how much it should be increased? It should be increased to 10,800. Okay, 1,800 ज़्यादा होना चाहिए, right? So 10,800 minus 9,000 is giving you 1,800. So you would find that that should be more increase of 1,800 into the average income or average disposable income of the workers. Okay, that will basically reflect his real purchasing power, right? So that is our say sixth sum. Let us see our seventh sum. What are given? The wholesale price index numbers of the year 2015 and 2016. Over here 2 years have been given, 2015 and 2016. Again 2015 is the base year and 2016 is the current year, right? We'll read the line again. The wholesale price index numbers of the year 2015 and 16 are found to be 150.2 and say your 165.7 respectively. What they given? Find the rate of inflation using the index numbers of both the years. We need to find out the rate of inflation. Now children, there is a formula for rate of inflation, right? That is, you can say your rate of inflation is equal to wholesale price index number of the current year minus wholesale price index number of the previous year divided by wholesale price index number of the previous year into 100. That is the formula to find out the rate of inflation. Children, over here we are having all the values. So wholesale price index number of the current year, we have taken up 165.7. Wholesale price index number of the previous year, as it has been given, we have taken 150.2 divided by again 150.2 into 100. You will solve it out into your calculator. It's giving you 10.32. So what is the rate of inflation? We found out the rate of inflation, that is 10.32%. Now let us see to the last sum of this question, or you can say the last sum of this chapter, the eighth short sum, the eighth one. What they given? If the increase in the price relative, right, of the three items are say 250%, right, 265% and 300% respectively, right, they're given as the price relatives, right? And if the ratio of the importances of these items is 8:7:5, find the general price index number. Children, over here there are three items, so we have taken A, B and C. Index number, okay, they have given us, okay, they have given us the rise with percentage, right, as index number for the base year has not been given. Again we are going to take it as 100, and you would find for these three items, okay, the price relatives have increased by 250%, 265% and 300% respectively. So we are going to add them. Same for item A, it's 100 plus 250 is equal to 350. For B, it is 100 plus 265, that is 365. For C, it is 100 plus 300, that is 400. That is our I. Now weights, they've given us proportionately or in ratio, you can say this 8:7:5. Again, the total of the weight over here is coming up to 20. Now to find out the general price index number, we want sigma IW. So we are going to multiply I and W, right? So that is for item A, you would find this 350 multiplied by 8 will give you 2800. For item B, it will be 365 multiplied by 7, that is 2555. And for item C, it is 400 multiplied by 5 will give you 2000. So your sigma IW is coming up to 7355. So now we are going to find out the general index number. Again, the general index number is equal to sigma IW upon sigma W. Sigma IW, we have got the total 7355. Sigma W, we have got the total 20. Just you will divide them, will give you 367.75. That is our general index number, right? So again, we are going to see by how much it just rose. Okay, you would find 367.75 minus 100 will give you 267.75, right? That is actually 267.75 percentage rise in the price in the current year in comparison, say, to the base year, right? So this is our last sum or the last short sum, right? So over here we basically complete the chapter, okay, but there are two sums which are basically remaining, right? And obviously theories are there, right? Two theories, okay, that has to be seen. In fact, the other sums and everything we have completed. Hopefully you have understood this chapter, right? Any doubts, okay, in this chapter or in this sums, okay, you are welcome to ask any time. Thank you very much, children. Have a nice time. God bless you all. Stay home, stay safe.